I started with a little cookie store, and that cookie store led me to the bakery business that then took me to an understanding about bakery cafes. I'd be working in a restaurant, and a customer would say, I want that bread, and I'd say, sure, and I start to slice it. And you slice it like bread, like this, and they say, no, slice it from top to bottom. And I'd do it, and I'd hand them the loaf, and they put on some roast beef and boursin. And again, trying to listen and be empathetic, I'd say, wow, there's an opportunity in a bakery cafe, that the product wasn't simply a croissant or
Isn't
piece
it shocking to you that it's so obvious, but nobody had figured out?
Absolutely.
You know, what's interesting, when Kind was born, it was because I had, like you, started in one direction, and then as I was starting my first business, I saw a need that didn't exist, and then when I launched that second one, it took off and grew much more.
What was the first one, Daniel?
The first one was Peaceworks.
Okay.
And
so how did that lead to Kind?
So Peaceworks was a business trying to get Arabs and Israelis and other people in other conflict regions to work together through business, and using business as a language for breaking stereotypes, cementing relations between people and connecting them. And it ended up becoming a food company because the ventures that we started in those conflict regions were food companies.
People refer to people like you and I as entrepreneurs, but I have a very different phrase for it. I call us opportunists. I see opportunities. And people often refer to entrepreneurs as risk-seeking. I'm the most risk-avoiding human being you ever met. I see an opportunity out there. I'm going to do everything in my power to protect it and to care for it and to, in fact, support it.
For me, what defines an entrepreneur is someone that can combine the opportunity and that can see the opportunity with the execution.
Exactly.
Because there's a ton of people that are incredible dreamers, and I know several of them that
I know several
they
of
have
them
amazing
too.
ideas, but then they can't execute. And there's amazing people that can execute, but they can't see it. And if you are able to combine seeing an opportunity and then acting on it, for me, that's what defines an entrepreneur.
You'll appreciate it. I've been at this for 36 years. I was a public company CEO for 26 of those 36 years. I can only tell you there's any number of dark moments when the world feels like it's closing in on you, nobody believes, you feel the burden. I can remember those nights when I'd wake up and think about all those people counting on me. I'd get up on a stage in front of 5,000 people, and I'd think to myself as I was speaking, you know, is this going to actually work?
There were moments where I could barely make payroll, and where I had to skip my own salary to pay my other team members' salary. There were moments where, you know, in our early years, I felt that we might really not make it. And during those moments, I didn't think it was appropriate for me to throw that at my team. And sometimes I didn't have anybody to go to for that. And I don't think I have a great solution for how to cope with that situation when I was facing that pressure.
I share with you something. I remember my daughter was up about an hour away at a summer house we had, and she called me and she said, Dad, I want you to come up and put me to sleep. And I said, Emma, I'm exhausted. I'm beat up. I can't do the drive. And I still have an event I have to go to.
And she was how old?
She was 12. She wanted me to come. And I drove up there, and I arrived in Manchester about 9:30 at night, and I climbed into bed with her, and I started hugging her. And I looked at her and said, Emma, today may have been a tough day for you, but tomorrow it will be a new day, and you get to start all over again. And I realized as I was driving home from putting her to bed, because I drove back to Boston that night, the person I was really talking to was myself. The reality is you cannot be an entrepreneur, you cannot be a business builder unless you fully understand that the business, you don't own the business owns you. It's with you in the shower, it's with you in the middle of the night, it's with you when you
can't turn it off.
You can't turn it off.
Some people can, I can't, and it's very interesting. It seems like we have to, entrepreneurs tend to maybe have slightly different language, but similar process. For me, when I'm having a bad day or a tough moment or thing, I just go home and my kids give me unconditional love. And you
How old are
melt,
your kids?
They're young, they're under 10. But
Wait, they will stop giving you unconditional love as they evolve into teenagers.